Mm-hmm. So we're doing different things.
Yeah.
Maybe just for the team, just to outline like all the initiatives they're currently doing with Transhuman Coin, what you need help with, and then we can go into the presentation just as a nice summary for everyone. We can share that afterwards.
So wait, give me one moment. So, yes. So welcome everyone. My name is Simon Moslander. I work amply with Peter and Dr. Nisa Koning, who is my partner in various things as well. So we're on to we're doing various things. So Monday. Lisa, we're going to have a conversation with Lisa Andrews on the various portfolio companies within Transhuman Coins Network, within the Wi-Fi, network, and see how my novel contacts with Swire Capital, Swire Consulting, could help in that regard. So that's one of the things that we're busy at, and we're very, very excited to meet Lisa Andrews on Monday to discuss all the potential possibilities for the transhuman coin companies and fundraising possibilities. So that's one thing. The second that we're working on together with Paul Spiegel and a few members such as Diego Repos from the Netherlands, Paul Spiegel from San Francisco, together also with Peter and Ash of JubiDAO, is to set up a one-stop shop for everything DAO. So this can include fundraising, setting up the legal entity, opening a bank account, smart contracts on the blockchain. So that is another concept. I've had a preliminary conversations with Peter for this concept as well, and everyone's enthusiastic, and a follow-up meeting has to be organized, but basically being the one-stop A to Z consultancy for everything decentralized autonomous organizations in the near future. So we're busy with that as well. The third, and then we'll move on to open cures. The third thing that we're very busy on, and that I'm doing that together with my partners at Swire, is to try to set up a high-tech innovation hub on the island of Aruba using the special economic zone of Aruba Special Economic Zone, the so-called free zone. Any product that is physical in nature and especially of high-tech nature will be free zone approved like almost immediately. So I would, advise Transhuman Coins Network to look into these possibilities, having to pay only 2% tax, and with the support of the local government and those kinds of things, can be quite advantageous. So that's the free economic zone concept. And now we're going to present a concept for an observational study in with regards to health, to human health and longevity, which we're really excited about. We're really excited to be presenting this to the Transhuman Coin Network. For we're seeking funding, but this is also one of the things that could be really a foundation for many beautiful things in the future, this observational study. And it might even create the basis it might even create a data set basis for things like in silico simulations in the future, and AI based pharmaceutical design with data sets that we want to create. So basically, the most important goal that we're going to have, and I'm going to share my screen shortly, is to create a novel data set, a unique data set, and we'll go into more detail as to why it's so unique. And and the end goal here is to accelerate the development of novel therapies and interventions. So we're talking about accelerating the pathway to escape aging velocity, accelerating the pathway to healthy aging and longevity. So those are all the things I'm busy with. It's an entire watch list. So yes, many things going on.
Yeah, thanks so much, Simon. And no, it's great to be able to connect in globally with the Transhuman Network through yourself and many others. Appreciate you attending it as well with the team. There's got a few events happening as well, like we've got the Longevity Summit coming up over in South Africa, and also in New York with the End Aging conference. And yeah, it's gonna. We're seeing some great tracking on both fronts. And yeah, we just had our Sydney event as well, looking at brain-computer interfaces and AI existential risks. Yeah, so we've all started to collect these together, and we're looking to put these onto our YouTube channel to help make that provided to our community too. So we'll put this up once we've finished with the recording. If you guys are happy with that as well.
I don't have a problem being on YouTube. I've been on YouTube on various occasions. I don't know if Clarine's Koning and Vincenzo have any objections as to that.
Nope, it's okay.
Good.
Yeah,
appreciate it, guys. Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, Vincenzo. It's all good to see you.
Perfect. So can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Yes. So we're so proud today to present a concept, like I already introduced, of a observational study, actually a small pilot study that we're looking at to do in a relatively small number of people, but to create a data set of the depth and a breadth that will make this highly unique. And the end goal is really to accelerate, to create new knowledge, to accelerate the creation of novel interventions and novel ways how people can increase their health and longevity. And that's really what we're doing here. And this is one of the things how we see that we can make it happen. So it's a partnership between Open Cures and CureDAO, and the company that will be managing the funds will be Radical Abundance Holding LLC, which is my holding company on Aruba. So we're doing it via that legal entity to manage the entire study procedure. So the executive summary, so we want to combine cutting edge metabolomics, and we'll go into details what we mean with metabolomics, lipidomics, what do we mean with those kinds of really novel wet lab testing capabilities, together with the digital data gathering capabilities of CureDAO and Open Cures, creating really novel insights into various aspects of human health. The combination of high frequency data gathering techniques, which is digital, together with like some of the most advanced lab work on the planet, is a quite exciting prospect to be pitching this. So that's what we're looking at. The total time frame is approximately 1 year. We would love to do a later follow-up stage as well with the recruited participants, but we're looking at a 12-month time frame in total, where there's 3 months of preparatory time before the study begins. We hope, if we can get the funding for this project, that we can start in the fourth quarter of 2023. And Vincenzo can go in the Q&A session more into detail about this, but we have various longevity networks in place for participant recruitment. So that's, we have the network ready who can help us with the recruitment of people for this study. And as recruitment is one of the main reasons why studies fail, so we have that checked and in place. And we're proposing a budget of approximately $300,000 US, a little bit less than that, but in that ballpark. So just so that everyone understands and everyone is on the same page, every single person on this call is suffering from aging, but also on a global level, there's an aging tsunami in both in developed countries and in emerging countries. There's an aging problem. We're seeing that the amount of aging people across the globe is growing enormously, and this has been outlined in many United Nations reports. You often hear when it comes to health and biotech that the next trillion-dollar companies will be health and biotech in nature, and we completely agree with that. And this is where we might get Peter excited, is that we're combining basically the cutting edge of digital technologies with the cutting edge of wet lab capabilities to create a unique data set. And we have a nonprofit for-profit hybrid, so we can go into more details as to that, but we want to in the future make a profit with the insights and see how we can spin off companies, or see how we can raise funding for Open Cures CureDAO. So we're looking into these possibilities. So we're not just a vision. We have a team of highly experienced, capable people who can actually execute this vision. So I'm joined here today by my colleagues, Dr. Carrie A. Niese-Koning and Vincenzo Domina. So Dr. Niese-Koning has a venerable academic experience list with over 70 publications, having been the founder of the enzyme lab in the University Medical Center of Groningen, and at this moment in time being the principal investigator and co-promoter of various PhD students. My own background, hi guys, is in healthcare management and innovation. I have a bachelor's in science in medicine and a master's in healthcare innovation, and 3 years of really nice experience in business development for AI, digital health, and now an aerospace startup. Vincenzo Domina is a full stack web developer. And did I describe that correctly, Vincenzo?
Yes, I mean, there's more, of course, Master of Engineering, a co-founder of OpenCures. I have been in digital health startups before as well, for example, a telemedicine startup here in Germany. Yeah, but mainly full stack development in the main development lead. Thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we have support as well for the power analysis, discovery analysis, and statistical data analysis via Professor Jan Antolik. So we have the team to execute this vision. So we want to measure different things. So we want to measure various things with digital questionnaires, looking at behavioral factors, dietary, lifestyle factors, medical history, family history. And what's going to make this really exciting is not just the high frequency data collection, but also combining it with enhanced wet lab capabilities with the prodrome metabolomics, lipidomics scan, using DEXA scan, ample blood panels, and MyDNH epigenetic aging. So I'm sorry, epigenetic tests. So really, combining the latest insights from both worlds, the digital and the physical wet lab capabilities, to create something which we feel is pretty unique. So these are the factors that we want to measure with the lipidomics, with the metabolomics, lipidomics testing. So to my knowledge, this is pretty cutting edge. I mean, it is not a standardized lipid test that you see everywhere as a standard test, but it does have a profound effect on health, and is linked to many diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and many other indications. So lipidomics, metabolomics can provide very interesting insights into general human health aspects. Just so everyone knows, we have, so as an observational study, we have to go to a local institutional review board. We have the institutional review board documentation when it comes to the ethics, when it comes to many things that need to be written down on paper and well thought out. We have the institutional review board template ready, so that is also a something that we see very seriously. The things like legal considerations with informed consent, ethical considerations, that has been planned thoroughly and has been uh, um, discussed thoroughly on paper. So the timeline is, upon receiving funding, we want to do a 3-month preparatory phase and a planning phase where we're going to prepare everything within the entire supply chain of the study and do maybe some small tests before we open up to outside participants and open up to recruitment. So the actual study length is only 1 month. We foresee continuous recruitment of 6 months. However, it could be faster, it could be slower, the recruiting, but if we're lucky with the longevity networks that we already have and creating the same level of enthusiasm that our team has, we might be able to recruit a lot faster than this. We also propose in the long term to have a follow-up of the participants 1 year after the study has been conducted, to like check up, like, hey, how are you guys doing? Wanted to know how your health situation is. So doing a follow-up as well, making this a bit of a long-term cohort study would be very nice. But this is a future thought, so this isn't something that we're looking at within the current budgetary constraints. But it's an interesting thought. So the flow, so this is the proposed study flow. We're all going to have a dedicated landing page. Very important is that everything will be done in a legally binding, concise way. There'll be an informed consent procedure. And then after the patients have signed the informed consent procedure, we'll have various digital data gathering with questionnaires and other techniques. And there'll be a physical visit for the blood draw, the body composition, and DEXA scan. Then afterwards, sample processing, and then using the Open Cures platform and to present this data to all of the participants in a nice, graphically very attractive front end way. And of course, since we're here to make a small impact on the world, we also want to publish this in a peer-reviewed journal, which will be done by the executive team. So our partners are the University of Alberta, Open Cures, and CureDAO, and we would love to add like the Sydney contacts, the Australian contacts to this list, and maybe even other universities as well. So we would love to expand the network in that regard. So this is the budget. What has been noted is that for research purposes, the retail price of the Prodome scan, the Metabolomics scan, is $500. But for research purposes, if we have batches of 30 to 40 people, this price can be much lower. But I'm quoting the research price at this moment in time. But we could go as low, if we have the economies of scale, go as low to $200 per test. But that's if we have really, batches of 40, 50 people. So, but it is a quite interesting avenue. So this is the budget that we've prepared. Obviously, when we're at a later stage, we will prepare detailed financial modeling and go into a lot of detail as to the precise expenditures. But as you can see, this is the proposed budget that we have for this observational study. So why are we different? So why would someone invest in this study? Is basically a holistic health measurement that, in my view, I don't know, probably there a private billionaire or a ultra high net worth individual might have already done this, but we are not humbly aware of any study that has done this holistic health measurement using the cutting edge of digital data gathering and the cutting edge of wet lab capabilities. And the most important part is that we're going to hopefully create novel insights into health and aging, which can create numerous long-term possibilities for many things, and hopefully accelerate our arrival at escape aging velocity. That's all what we're here to do: create novel therapies, save lives, reduce human suffering, and reach escape aging velocity. And we hope to increase awareness both locally and globally for longevity and aging, and for participants to actively take action in their own health situation. So some future thoughts and feedback. We're very keen as to hear, Peter, as to your feedback as to this, and we would love to talk more in technical detail about all the things that we want to do, both now and in the future with this, and how we can have a small impact on the global health situation. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attention, and let's make a difference. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and so it sounds like this trial, 200 people roughly, you can have various tests, and it's going to be done in the Aruba free zone. Is that right?
Oh, no. So the
All
Aruba free zone is only for physical products, so no services companies yet. But we there are, if there are possibilities for different things of that nature, but there are but the free zone is for like Charles's battery company or different physical products. That's where the economic free zone can come in.
Yeah. So where do you envision the actual patients will come from?
So we're envisioning the patients. So Vincenzo can talk a little bit about this. So there are physical locations in San Francisco, correct?
Yeah. So OpenCures has a bricks and mortar facility where he does blood draws and biobanking. So that's operated by Kevin Parrott. That's in Novato, San Francisco. And this is what we would consider the main location, because the access to the metabolomics assay is there, and he also has the InBody device ready. But frankly, this could be done in any location where a blood draw and a body composition scale is available, which is in many gyms, and where you have a phlebotomist that can follow the procedure needed for the scientific assay, which involves a bit more of a precise cooling procedure of the sample and stuff like that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned in your presentation, Simon, as long as it sort of passes the consent forms process, occupations, it consents to that blood draw.
All the legal the legal checklist, if I can call it that. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. It was a great way to get the sort of the biohacker community on board. I was actually thinking through Transhuman Coin, we can also incentivize that, because not only will they receive the dashboard, there's also a financial incentive through Transhuman Coin to be part of that community, to actually go there and draw and bleed for the movement, right? It's kind of like you're really putting your body on the line, but also you're having your personal insights into the healthcare as well.
No, we're very keen and excited to work with the transhuman community and with Transhuman Coin on these type of projects. So we would love to work together with Transhuman Coin on this.
Given
maybe to clarify
US,
the point, I'm sorry. Maybe to clarify the point of recruitment, because in every study that's kind of a major problem, how to recruit the people.
Yeah.
And our approach would be that we use the network that we have already. I mean, Kevin Parrott, for example, from OpenCures, he's doing it for 20 years. He has a big network in the longevity field. For example, we know these kind of self-organized groups like, just to mention a few, the GRG email community group. It's the gerontology research group with a few hundreds. Even through OpenCures, we have 400 customers, 800 Twitter followers. 6,000 newsletter signups. So that would be a crowd to reach out to recruit people. And also the CureDAO community has over 300 members. So that's also a channel, or like one of many channels we want to use for recruiting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I would love to also be part of that as well, just to be able to sort of incentivize the adoption. I was also thinking we could partner with Lifespan.io to do a combination of match funding and crowdfunding. So have you guys already reached out to Keith, given it's in the States, he's in New York? We can actually have a joint sort of a fundraising, crowdfunding raising on the platform.
Yes, so we have
that would be most excellent.
Yeah, so
you
we
already
have
have
contact with Brent Nelly and Keith Comito from Lifespan.io, so they would be very happy to do that.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, so let's do that together. So it will be on a landing page like this. It'll have a dedicated project name, so you can see from the website here they've got they've done like 9 projects already in terms of collecting that crowdfunding there. Just to have that sort of I guess it's a combination of the distribution and the marketing component. I think it would be great to get some blogs out on this project as well. And again, we also do the match funding of Transhuman Coin for the amounts raised on that platform in Transhuman Coin. We can even have something like not sure, Corky, like you've seen through the likes of what we've done with say what they did with the Sense Foundation. It's like any excess amount you can actually get on top of that and get Transhuman Coin back as well. There's all sorts of things we can include to make it sort of really valuable for the project.
Maybe it would be also worth to highlight that OpenCures is doing the biobanking service for the Ageless RX pill trial, which has also received funding through the Lifespan.io crowd funding campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll reach out to Keith. We'll get something going, because it'll be a combination of Keith, team, myself, and Lisa. Oh, just hang on a second. I just got a quick call. Yeah.
So I'm happy with how the presentation went, and this is very exciting prospects with Lifespan.io, Lisa, the Transhuman Coin Society. So let's wait for Peter to join back, and but I'm all energized.
I was just thinking, Simon, we started now with a cohort of people coming from the age of 20, but the younger age should be included as well. But that is for a future study, I think. Apparently healthy children can be integrated later on, because that is the basic for healthy aging, of course, those children. And well, it would be very nice to know how that is going, and then quite a follow-up study on the population.
It's very interesting, and if we can get some traction, maybe even expand the cohort. So we're going to have to do a follow-up with Professor Dr. Antolik with regards to the possibilities of, like, if the cohort is larger, what the possibilities are there. But yes, but this is I think we're feeling the excitement. So we'll wait for Peter to come back, and yes, so it's we're very excited to work with Transhuman Coin.
And the presentation, indeed, Simon, went well. Thank you.
Yes.
you were our representative. This.
I'm used to pitching. So yes, it's a skill. Okay, let's wait a little bit for Peter and continue this conversation. And so, Art, how do you feel about our presentation?
Well, I thought it was fine. I was just trying to understand, parts of it, but it's so you're doing a study, 200 people, lab work, right, blood work, and getting those results. But what is the novel approach you're taking to analyze that data? That I didn't quite.
Oh, so maybe Vincenzo can talk a bit about the data analysis techniques, but that is really on Professor Antelik's a stream of possibilities.
Because I know we were talking earlier, actually with Natasha this morning.
Oh, Natasha Whittemore.
Yes, you presented there, but we were talking about mostly how to detect like dementia. You know, I know they've been sort of working on blood tests to try and detect Alzheimer's and the amyloid, beta amyloid plaque, something other with a blood test, but it's I hear it's something that's being done. Is it being done professionally, or is it just still like in a research stage? Or
so blood tests for Alzheimer's are still very experimental.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge.
I can expand more on that question. So what we are trying, or what we have planned to use, is a untargeted metabolomics assay from Prodome Sciences, and it is still a research grade assay, but it's already sold to doctors, and it is they are running clinical trials to they want to address Alzheimer's and these kind of diseases, and we are focused to bring that to the longevity research and examine healthy individuals. So that's kind of the difference, and we're working closely with them actually on the Open Cure side. But what makes that different to the let's say established way of measuring metabolomics, which is the targeted metabolomics. This is an untargeted mass spectrometry measurement approach, which means that it doesn't measure just a few known molecules, metabolic molecules, but it measures all of the molecules, and it's in the thousands. And the low-hanging fruit there is that there is a lot of molecules that have not been discovered yet, or discovered in combination with the effects on health. And one of the stories, the success stories they have already had is the founder, Dr. Dane Goodenow. He has a dedicated web page for all of his information and his studies and his papers and that he published so far. And one of the exciting stories they had is, for example, the plasmalogen levels. Plasmalogen is one of the lipids. It is linked to Alzheimer's, and if you have low levels, you should adjust these to not get these diseases. And this is, and for example, they have cured actually a Alzheimer's type of disease in children called rare childhood disease, and this was linked to the plasmalogen. And the knowledge of how plasmalogen is associated to that, it just fell out of the data. They measured with this new untargeted metabolomics mass spectrometry approach, which he developed. They measuring people, they discovered that just looking into the data, and it's not a complex data analysis you do at that point. You correlate like the data of the cohort across age, or the association with diseases and how they develop. So it's simple statistical analysis at that point, but the novel approach, or the interesting approach here, is that you do the untargeted mass spectrometry on these blood samples. That's the difference.
Okay, and the product you showed earlier, that's the actual product that's doing that? Or is that...
Sorry?
You showed a product earlier that was like $400. Yeah, so this is the actual product? Or is you're telling me that it's compared to this product? What is this product here?
This product here is what they're selling as the Prodome scan, which is based on the untargeted metabolomics mass spectrometry they have in their lab. So Prodome Sciences is the lab performing the untargeted metabolomics.
Okay, so that's what you would be using right there.
Exactly. And we as OpenCures, we have an exclusive license to sell it directly to consumers. So if we can batch it, we can get it for a lower price. So that's kind of the advantage of why we should do it.
Okay.
But and so I'm interested in if they find some unknown compounds in the proteome scan, because it's untargeted, and targeted is using standards, and then you know exactly which compounds you're aiming at. But now we have compounds that are not known. How do they go on then? Because that's as a lab specialist is very interesting for me.
Yeah. So of course I'm the programmer, so I try to find the right words. Of course, Kevin Parrott here, or even Dr. Dan Goodenow, we can get him to a call as well. Would have the precise and scientific words for that. I'm just repeating what I heard from them. The untargeted metabolomics for the lipids, and this is why he focused on the lipidomics so far. He has compared the intensities he gets out of the mass spectrometry of the untargeted intensities to existing molecules. So he knows exactly, if he looks at the intensities he gets out of that measurement, he knows exactly which molecules they are, but in groups. Like, for example, omega-3 fatty acids, but with the molecule weight. But it's not just the lipidomics, right? So there's more in the metabolomics, which can be examined. And this is where they haven't gone already into. So there is an opportunity lying around, because they have this machine and it can measure way more, but they can't just report the lipidomics so far.
So,
why it makes so interesting.
Yes, thank you so much, Vincenzo and Clary, for the neurological action potentials. I want to ask, so Peter, what do you see as next steps as to this project proposal? What are the concrete next steps that we can take, and how are we going to move forward on this?
Yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, thanks for the patience. I just had to run for an emergency call just then. Yeah, so I think firstly, yeah, we'll be able to, I'll reach out to Kevin and the team, and we'll go through onboarding you guys onto Lifespan.io. Keith Cometto and the team will be able to sort of help facilitate any of the website designs, any logos you guys want to put up. I think some of this video component will be one of the initial things to help guide the people that, going through the crowdfunding on your initial vision. I think there will be things like tweaks around, more sort of the specifics, images of where you guys are going to be running the patient onboarding. So maybe through Open Cures, of course, and what CureDAO is doing, you can also provide some of those assets to put onto the website. Also be reach out to Lisa Andrews as part of sort of how we can actually facilitate the investment component, whether it's match funding or also through Charles and Transhuman Coin. So we can do, say, every dollar raised on the Lifespan.io platform, we'll be able to match in Transhuman Coins in a certain form, so we can airdrop that to the patients or to the actual people submitting their contributions through Lifespan. One of the most successful ones we saw is also through, I think it's a interesting example when the SENS Foundation did that. There was so many ramifications on the downside, but the fact that it still raised millions of dollars for the SENS Foundation purely through an airdrop of Transhuman Coin or through another cryptocurrency by providing your wallet address and making that donation. So there is a sort of a precedent where that's really worked out well. So yeah, we can match the funding in fiat of people donating to Lifespan for your project, and then we essentially provide Transhuman Coin to those to the contributors. Yeah.
Well,
I think that, those three avenues. Yeah, I think that'd be great to start to put that together. I'll first with me. Yeah, I'll reach out to Keith, Lisa, and Charles. And then for this, I think it's if you guys were to start sort of collating some of those assets together, or to get up and running. If you're happy, we'll put this onto YouTube so I can link that to the team as well for an easy summary. Was there
Okay,
anything that I
well,
missed during the discussions afterwards? Right, yeah.
oh no, so we were going into what we would call nerd zone on the plasmagens, the lipidomics, and various of the things like how that can be used to
Mm,
measure like things like Alzheimer's risk or other types of all kinds of risks and features. So really exciting scientific avenues, and so we're all very excited after this.
yeah, me too. It's so great to be able to have sort of that like in-person impact, like the human impact through all the projects we're doing like online. It's just so good to help this network state is coming together, right? It's sort of like online communities, and we're having physical impact and people on the ground, but also contributing to science. So building that database through Open Cures and CureDAO.
Mhm.
We'll love to see some sort of also ways, how BetaDAO is doing the IP NFTs. If there is something that comes out through a discovery of the type of patient and the things that are coming through, I guess that's where CureDAO is going towards, right? If you actually can create a way to then in the future commercialize that finding
Yes.
into, say, clinical trials, then you should float back to the DAO token holders. Like this is sort of where we're moving towards in that BetaDAO model. And Paul, Spiegel, obviously will be a great advisor to how we can make that happen.
Yes, indeed, and so I would say like the prospects are extremely excited. We want to, our entire team and myself personally. It's always a pleasure talking with you, Peter, and being on these calls, and then having support for these type of ideas. So it's an enormous pleasure, and I want to thank you for letting us use your platform, for letting us use Transhuman Coin, and I hope we can do many beautiful things together. And we're looking at various projects, but we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for staying late, putting your own body on the line as well.
Yes, yes.
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I think if there's anything else, Art, Corky, I know that we're looking to help with the community side as well. There's got a few things we wanted to do, like contribute to the YouTube channel, create some AI video content. You guys want to stick around for that?
I'll
talk about that.
Yeah, I'll be around for that.
Yeah, Simon, I'll let you go to bed, mate. I think it's about time you slept. So.
Thank you so much, guys.
Hey, thank you so much,
Sensei.
everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. What do you guys think, mate?
Well, it's now that I understand kind of what they were doing. So it's basically the blood test they're doing. So it's untargeted versus targeted. So and being untargeted, they have a lot more data set of unknowns, which no one has figured out, basically. So they're trying to figure out what all these unknowns are. So that's, I guess, the bottom line that makes it simple for me to understand. Because that's
measure everything. Yeah, a real quantified stuff.
Now that's been put in layman's terms for me. Yeah, I like the sound of it too. Thanks, Art.
It's something that Jono Woods, who sponsors us in Sydney, he is really keen on the DEXA scans, and he's also doing the whole genome sequencing, sourcing, and him and Lisa Andrews are actually this is actually a huge passion of Lisa's. Like, she wants to have the perfect information of her body, given her sort of existing sort of medical history. Like, every sort of data point helps in trying to predict and preempt any of those sort of things. So yeah, for us, I think this is a good starting point, that we can combine more and more data sources. The more affordable these things get, the more streamlined we can get for everybody to access. I think there's like $200 or $100 sort of whole genome sequence kits, like Nebula Genomics, like those ones that we can start to link up through George Church's sort of many conflict of interest slide of companies in his network. It's just about the logistics of trying to get that checklist of every single scan you can get. I've got got some contacts here in Australia that can do MRIs, like and fMRIs as well, like at a discount. But then how do you scale, like at a clinic level, across the entire world? But we'll see what we can go from there. So Corky, on the community side, do we want to make that accessible to everyone like today, or is it? I'm not sure if anyone's awake over there yet.
No, if you want to put it off for a while, like a couple of hours, and then do the call, that'd work.
Yeah.
Because
sounds good.
Shit, what time is it? What's my phone?
Mm.
It's 10 a.m. for Charles.
Yeah.
And it is 9 a.m. in Lagos. So
okay. Yeah.
They will all be just starting their day.
Yeah, because it's a Friday night, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
Let's gauge some interest. So in the main chat, let's see who's up for it. Say in 2 hours' time. Obviously not Art. He's going to go to bed.
Yeah, well, it's Saturday for him, so they should be. Well, they should be more active in the next couple of hours, anyway.
Yeah, and while I've got you here, I'll show you what we're planning to do. So, so we've monetized our YouTube channel. I'll give Corky, Charles, and the SAB access to the channel, so we can all sort of maintain the content that goes in there. Let me just share my screen. So,
I should start checking on the comments section, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Okay. Comment section.
The videos.
Oh, the videos. Oh, yeah, very cool. Get some activity going on there.
Posts.
Yeah. So it took us a while, because this is ages ago. So we had a Transhumanism Australia. Now it's just repurposed for Transhuman Coin as well. But we had this Transhumanism Australia channel since ages ago, and we were monetized a little bit ago, and then I just stopped using it. So because it was just full-time work. But now that we're getting back into things, we got so much opportunity to just really supercharge it. So in terms of the let me just go to YouTube Studios. So I'll just share the password with you guys in the a separate chat, separate email. There needs to be a team feature, so you could just add additional users. But you can see this is the Earn program. So yeah, you guys all know YouTube partners stuff. So we do watch page ads, shorts, feeds ads, membership ads, super ads. So this is just based on videos you monetize. This is shorts you monetize. This is a membership base. So just like with Patreon, you can create a fan club, different tiers and exclusive perks. Then there's supers. So these are the things like interactive, the dystopian TikTok viral, girl that says the things are feeding lollies, that sort of thing. It's this is the sort of stuff they used to do in all those TikToks. So you can do things like super chats, stickers, super thanks, that sort of thing, right? And we can plug in the shopping component, so we can continue to link it up with our Transhuman store if it's a Shopify, Spring, or Spreadshop. Those are the only integrations they have. But basically, you can just directly integrate a shopping experience to the YouTube channel. So based on the analytics, so the analytics, it's not that much. It's only I think it's from 3 days. So we're only up to $10 a day or something in Australian. So not very much. It's really just driven by one of the videos we put together around the simulation. Those AI generated South Park episodes. We just stitched that together, and it went viral. So that's what got us across the mark in the end. But it's sort of things something that has an existing mimetic appeal, like South Park or Elden Ring. These are sort of things that gets a lot of views that people associate with. But we can put an AI longevity, well-being sort of spin on it and talk about transhumanism. That way we hijack existing trends. Things like what I was going to show the community later today is the combination of, say, Midjourney and Runway ML. So Runway Gen 2 is image to video. So say you get AI generated image, say through Midjourney, but something easy to use as well that's more accessible is Click Drop, because you don't have to go to Discord. You can just use Stable Diffusion, the latest version, SDXL 1.0. And you can just start to generate, right? So you know this quite well because you've been using these platforms for quite a bit. And say with like Corky, you've been using Midjourney quite a bit, so this is just like a poor man's like Midjourney. But yeah, you can see that the outputs are getting pretty comparable now, SDXL and Midjourney. And
The last
you
year
just
just
need
went to Midjourney because the quality wasn't quite there.
Yeah, well, it's more prompting now, so it's more like in how you prompt it now. So that's the clip drop one. Yeah, I think my thing's lagging, but basically, yeah, once you take that image, you download it, and then you chuck it into Runway ML. So this is the Gen 2 that just became publicly available. Let's paste this in the chat. Runway, you can go from image to video, so it animates that image for you, so it's a little bit more engaging. It only gives you 4 seconds of video. So the idea is that, well, if we get the community to start stitching these 4-second ones together, we can actually get something that's a bit more decent and monetizable. But also you could continue to generate these 4-second videos by taking a screenshot of the last frame, like just the last frame, and then feed that back in again. And so you can actually just build these like long form videos that actually have a continuous narrative.
And the 4 seconds is basically free? The 4 seconds
yeah,
is
4
free?
seconds free. Yeah. I think every video takes image to video is now limited to 4 seconds. Even if you pay, you're still limited to 4 seconds. But if you take a screenshot of the last frame and then feed that in again, you continue to build another 4 seconds, right? And the free tier. Yeah, free ticket only gives you 101 seconds. So you need to create a new account after 101 seconds.
Huh.
Yeah. So I'll just give an example. Let's go clip drop. Not sure how this
We can stitch together our own Australian Rick and Morty style episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Story.
something that's got an existing recognition stuff. Rick and Morty would be great. Did I post this link in here already? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Make sure I have that in the SAB dev group as well. SAB notes. Contributions.
There's a hilarious idea for a video. How not to be a transhumanist and then show every Marvel villain.
Yeah, have a scarcity mindset like Thanos. And you can't create abundance with your snap. All right, okay, so here's a dog one, right? So let's save that. This is an example.
That is a fancy dress dog.
I know, right? And then you upload. So you just click on this image one. Oops. Click on the image, upload, drag and drop. And then you just double click on that. That'll load that in. And yeah, I've got like 1,000 Gmail accounts. So that's how, like, you know, if people want to in the game this stuff, you can just keep on doing it. So yeah, you click on generate, and it takes about a minute for a 4-second video. So that'll take 4 seconds off my 101 seconds allocation. I'm sure they do some sort of referral system as well, right? So we can get all the team members to join on a referral link. Build that up. Okay, so now it's generating. And it's a bit hit and miss. So what you're seeing on Twitter is like people just having more different goes at it to see how, you know, the randomization. Some of them is actually really good. Some of it's pretty average.
Yeah, you really need to take a photo of a couple of your pieces and upload it this. I'd like to see them animated for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It would be quite interesting.
Yeah.
What I've done in the past is I've used Midjourney, and I use the title of my pieces to generate an image. And the only word I would add would be like futuristic. So I've generated some derivatives of my work doing that with Midjourney. So just the title and adding futuristic and kind of getting some. But I've noticed that Midjourney likes to bias towards a woman. Always a woman in what it generates, and you give it something vague. So
Yeah, you can even do a zoom out on your existing artwork, so right, so you can see what the AI thinks is in that context window.
Oh,
So
that zoom feature was awesome.
Whoa! Did you see that? Hey, that's actually pretty good. So you did a little bit of a head shake there.
okay, so you can add a prompt to this.
Yeah, you can add a prompt to it as well.
So let's say like a bee approaching dog. Would it do that?
A bee approaching dog?
Yeah. So you would give it the image and then say bee approaching dog.
Just B?
And,
just B-E-E?
Yeah, a bee. Yeah, a bee. Just.
You see my screen? Is that right? Do you want this prompt? Yeah.
Yes. Try that.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, now it'll like try to interpret that and introduce that to the video.
That video of a dog with the car in the background, and that just needs some Tokyo Drift music going.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Look at this. Yeah, just imagine a car in the background. How good is that?
Oh, there is one there. See?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, it just introduced that, and yeah, adding some AI generated music or copyright free music to it. I figured it's actually quite annoying with all the ones on Twitter. They're all got they all got like copyrighted music on. So when I chuck it onto the YouTube, it just keeps on flagging it. So I'm like, crap, got to just remove the audio. But some of them was actually really story driven. They got like 11 labs in the background talking. So like just simulate the voices. And once you lose that, you lose a bit of context.
Yeah, we're trying to get volunteers for the election campaign, and we're trying to figure out things to get them to do like this. You know, we can get them to do little shorts like this, and then we post it on their accounts and then share it and whatnot. I was suggesting to do kind of like an Andrew Tate viral, type program. But we'll see. Some people are kind of opposed to getting volunteers to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what it's come up with: bee approaching dog.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss. See, look, there's nothing. I think really, there's no bees. There's like
completely.
Yeah, and plus, where's the bee?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hit and miss. Yeah. Didn't match prompt, lack of movement. Yeah, render quality's alright.
They do tend to lean towards the Shiba Inu style dog too. Probably because the amount of prompting that they've copped from
it. Looks nothing like the OG. But yeah, so that's the idea. So we can teach the community how to do that, and then just chuck it onto the Telegram. And the ones we can actually like get the community to vote on the best videos to include each week. And that way we can actually like reward, the community with Transhuman Coin, because we can use the proceeds from that particular video. Like you can see there's not much, right? But we can get the community to watch more of it. Each video can, buy some Transhuman Coins and actually share it with the original content creators. So from the AI generated content creators that we can trace back to their wallets. Yeah, I also saw Gonza provided some articles as well. So we've got a monetized Medium article account. So I'll give you guys access to this as well. But we've been able to like get some traction on this as well. Like you can see, yeah. I've been just doing some AI generated articles like the LK99 stuff. Like that's always getting traction, but it's not much. Like you can see this is sort of cents in the dollar. But the Gonza one, say if we wanted to reward Gonza for that article he submitted, which is, I think it was something about, the Mandela Truman Show one, for example. Like, some of these aren't getting that much traction, right? So, but this is purely his submission. We'll be able to track the stats on that particular article that he submitted, and we'll be able to just buy Transhuman Coin with that and just send that to his wallet. So, the more of that we can encourage, the better. Yeah, so 12 cents, we'll probably have a certain threshold so to make the gas fees worth it. But probably like $10. Anything above $10 or something would be worth it. at the transaction fees.
Definitely.
Yeah. $10 a transhuman coin. Not bad. Yeah, what do you guys reckon?
Cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm really happy with how well Gods has been going too. He's been, since we put him on, he's been just smashing it out of the park.
Yeah, that Notion site, man. That's so good. Together.
You need to start checking that every day.
Yeah.
You start adding more to it.
Yeah. Yeah, have you seen the Notion page? We've got to add the SAB members once we get all the SAB team members on board. I know Avinash, I'm working with him on a project now in Sydney on a brain-computer interface EEG use case. So these are non-invasive ones. He's published a paper. It's currently print. It'll be released at the end of the year in full print, but it's going to be visualizing your brainwaves using non-invasive EEGs like emotives. And he's actually getting pretty good using Stable Diffusion, getting the users to look at an image and then getting the output very similar to that image, to that particular original image. So that's how he's trained the EEG to image model. And the next step for us is then to how do we mainstream a product out of that? Well, let's get the EEGs where you can wear when you're asleep, like the ones that go around your ear, and then use Stable Diffusion to make a video, the Stable Diffusion to forum or runway, and create a video out of those stills, and to actually create a dream, a video of your dream. Like that's the dream machine concept we're creating.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of my dreams. I mean, they're pretty complex plots at times.
That's what I was saying. It'd be good to validate.
You know, sometimes I'm like an actual character, but I'm watching myself from third person. Sometimes it's like I'm a character, but then the scene switches over to two other characters, and I'm watching them third person. Then I go back to myself in first person. Like I had this craziest Star Wars dream the other day, and we were like infiltrating like the Empire ship, but it didn't look like a regular Empire ship. It was different, and we're trying to smuggle in some little creature that goes ballistic when you change his pillow, you know. So to kind of sabotage the ship, and then we had to get out of there after we dropped off the little creature. And then next thing I know, it's that the other characters that were with me had their own little scene.
What?
I end up in a ballpark, like a baseball park, and I'm somehow in the game. They tell me don't go beyond the baseball park, but it's kind of like a Field of Dreams, but you go past it and it's just like a
Field of Dreams.
It's like a what do you call it, hologram. You go past it, and I ended up like in a casino, some space casino. So it's like a mishmash of like, you know, Star Wars and Field of Dreams and just craziness. So
oh God. All right. Well, you know what? It'd be interesting to see if the images that come out of that you can validate, but also if Disney will copyright the content. If you got like if we come to some like Mickey Mouse characters coming out, it's like, hey, on a second, that's we own your dreams because we literally are creators of that at Disney. You know? It's so bad.
Well, I've noticed some dreams are kind of derivative. Some are mundane, like just kind of going through regular life, but some are unique. I do have some unique dreams, and those be the ones to tap into, say, if you're a creative, because then you have like a unique plot that your mind just spontaneously generated, and it's not a derivative, you know. So I know I do have spontaneous, completely, you know, new experiences that aren't derivative of anything I've seen before. So
be creating content as you sleep, right? It'd be like, look, we're finally able to tap into the other 33% of the day in terms of creative output. I think that'd be cool. I mean, a lot of people actually solve problems when they're asleep. So it's like they solve maths problems back at school, high school. I remember like solving maths problems, and it was like asleep and dreaming about it, and I figured it out the next morning. It's like, what should that count as work, right? If you're doing like actual work while you're sleeping, put that into your timesheets. You know, it's like, hang on, so I got the full text output here. We've deciphered it. Here's my documentation. Yeah, that's the timesheet.
Definitely.
GPT is subconscious to get the work done.
There's a Rick and Morty episode about that.
I mean, I one time when I was doing some intense Russian study, I actually almost couldn't sleep because I just kept studying in my dream. So it kind of backfired a bit. It's like I couldn't get out of a dream because I'm just studying Russian in my dream. I'm studying Russian, like every night for like almost 3 months, and it just invaded my sleep. It was kind of not that good.
Geez. Yeah.
Relaxing, it was just studying. It was like, so
Yeah. But this is how we can get the appeal of brain-computer interfaces to the masses, right? It's like everyone identifies, with their dreams. It's like it's so mainstream, and also, think about all the tarot card readers. They'll have like content for days from one dream. they're like, it's like, help me understand
now,
what does this mean.
We can test the medium to see if they are actually seeing your dead relative.
what about input?
Yeah.
Has he any sort of input from the device?
It's just EEG, so purely based on the brainwaves.
Let's say that you could monitor a certain EEG that is pre what do you call it? A sleep apnea. And it tells you, lay over or turn around or shift your position to try and avoid a position that might be causing your life. But no.
Yeah. Oh, if you could play it back, you mean? So playing back.
No, to warn you while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Hey, or you're snoring, like a snore alert. Okay.
So like a voice inside the device.
Yes,
yeah.
like a little voice that tells you.
Like whispers.
Flip over, or something.
That'd be great for epilepsy.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be kind of like your partner sleeping in bed telling you turn over because you're snoring.
Yeah, that's right.
Except you're having the device telling you.
That'd be so epic. Imagine having like an AI agent there doing ASMR, just going, turn over.
Wouldn't that be useful for someone with narcolepsy? Their brain's like, oh, you're about to go to sleep. Oh, I better get myself in a safe position.
No, exactly. Yeah, it'd be life saving at times,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great idea. So it's kind of interesting how we can then, like the invasive ones, also eventually have high fidelity, better granular, like better match to what you're actually dreaming about. So a lot of it will be content generated and filled in as it noises and denoises through stable diffusion. But we want to be able to get that sort of level of granularity when we do go towards invasive ones, and then eventually we'll be able to do the read write, right? So if you don't have to use the audio and just go feed straight in.
Yeah.
Dynamic dreams. Holy shit. Inception stuff's coming real, man. Again, Leonardo.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's get a bit out when it's late. So
All right.
Good night, mate. Corky, we'll pop in the chat, see who's interested in a couple of hours. We'll get it going.
All right. Good night. Later.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. I'll see you then.
Yeah, cool. We'll pop in the chat. See you back.